Hey man, let me tell you what 18 Ace is. Yeah, listen, let me tell you what AT&T just tried to do to me a certain type of way, and I'm speaking to the phone at the same time.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't have an answer to that.
Let me tell you what AT&T tried to do to me a certain type of way, right? Hey Siri, let me tell you what AT&T tried to do to me a certain type of way. I was literally just called my bank because I went to go get money from my bank because I had money in my bank somebody sent me, right? And then AT&T charged me 170 something dollars on my account, like a overdraw with draft. But the bank told me was permission that they said I gave them is for them to get paid. But I didn't know that they were gonna try to overdraw money from my account at a certain time. Now my bank bill ain't due all the way until like the third or the second of the literal next month, right? Now I'm like, why would AT&T withdraw money from my account? Now I don't have on my banking. Now listen to this on my bank card. When I was doing my banking, the guy asked me, he said, "Yo, do you want to have like something where if say you don't have money on your card, would you want to have the option for you could withdraw a certain amount of money off your card, and then your bank your the card would go or what you would call turn into negative, but you got to literally pay back the bank." And I'm looking at the bank. I told the guy literally at the time, I said, "Yo, listen, no, I do not want that option. I do not ever want to draw. I don't care what the situation is with me. I don't want to be able to take out money off my bank so the card will never go negative." Yo, my dude, AT&T went and called the bank to withdraw money from me, money that they know I'm gonna pay, but it's not. It wasn't in the bank at the time, and then they withdrew 170 something dollars from my card from my bank. Now I said, how would AT&T do something like that? And I'm the one that literally pay, I pay. I'm the one that pay. I'm the one that pays my AT&T bill, and I own. If I told you I own the corporation of AT&T, then what is that about? Does that make sense? Listen to what I'm telling. I own I own this continent. I own the continents. Not only this continent. I own the continents and I own the land of all social economics. Literally, I'm the real. Listen, I am the real Bill Gates. I own the bank. Yo, listen. When you see people vote in the propaganda that they put on television, that's bullshit according to what's really supposed to be going on in the humane condition and the social economics of the physical reality. So I don't give a fuck about the people propaganda and all the things that I'm telling you. And I have other people that know I own the land, I own these continents, and there's no way you're gonna tell you listen. You're gonna take. I put the earth in my wife. You ain't gonna you ain't gonna tell me that I don't own this earth. It's like telling my wife she don't have no fucking consciousness, like she's a whore. Yo, my nigga, you tell me something like that, my nigga, and you speaking to me about a person that's a real empress. Yo, my dude, I'll finish this planet on some shit like that. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I don't give a fuck what type of international government, international security thinking. I'll literally finish this planet a certain type of way that won't even and I won't even get arrested because it won't be no bodily harm, no theft, no nothing doing anything to people. It's something I'll say that literally cause this planet to get finished. Literally, you think it's a joke? Alright. You should have listened to what I was telling you on my last videos when I was telling you individuals who speak in languages and the energy for. Don't make me finish this planet while people's on this planet because I'm gonna be okay and I'm gonna just go up, but this planet will be finished, guaranteed. Yo, listen, let me tell you how I'm gonna get finished, my dude. So then, now a person you think is a joke? Well, you better go ask your international security guy, or you better go ask the empress of this planet. You literally better go find out how real what I'm saying is. Literally. But anyway, now imagine this: you have individuals from AT&T, so that means, you know, the social economics international security must have robbed the corporation a certain type of way. So you had some type of policing or military that literally robbed a corporation of my business. Now, how would that have happened? Now, these individuals, I own the World Trade Center. I'm the one that owned the World Trade Center. At the day of the World Trade Center that happened with 9/11, I was literally at work, and I wasn't even thinking about me owning the World Trade Center at the time. I was told after, like, yo, you're the one that I was told. The individuals came and told me, like, yo, you're the one that really owned the building in all type of situations. And then certain other, because on the time, my conscience was already being like coming to awakening about certain situations, and then individuals told me I'm the one that owned. I was like, yo, listen, let me tell you something. The day of the contract of the world, they had to tell me the whole rundown of the information of everything that happened at 9/11. The day of the 9/11, the Bushes, Homeland Security owned. They had a security contract, and to them it expired because you want to know why it expired? My family was supposed to receive a form of payment from me a certain type of way in the World Trade Center, and they didn't receive the form of payment because at the time I didn't acknowledge that I owned the World Trade Center, and I was at a young age recovering from a gunshot. So I didn't acknowledge that situation. So if they needed a payment, I would have paid them. But the fact is, their contract was it was expired. It was due up to that day, and then they couldn't continue. And then nobody wanted to tell me about the situation, so they could have got paid. So I said, yo, you know something? I didn't say nothing. But because the individual's contract was up, and individuals was mad that they wasn't receiving a form of payment, individuals married into the Bin Laden family, and then sabotage Bin Laden, which is also my child. Literally, Bin Laden is my literal child. If you do a DNA test, you'll find out. Then on top of it, and I mean literal. You think as I'm talking bullshit on YouTube, you need to go fucking do a DNA. Matter of fact, the government already got my DNA, so they could already know. They don't even have to take a DNA test with me no more. They literally could take a D. They literally can look into the DNA that they have. That's supposed to be their storage or whatever, and do DNA testing, and they'll know. And then you know who took the DNA from me? Coney Island Psychiatric Facility, Kings County Psychiatric Facility, and then also they tried. Some people they even took extra DNA because another chick didn't even label a tube, and she just took it and left. And that was literally it happened in both places, matter of fact. And I've been there more than you know how much times they took DNA from me. Yo, you wouldn't even believe it, right? So I'm like, yo, imagine people taking DNA from me trying to absorb my family's magic, and then they were trying to absorb magic from me. Which yo, listen, let me tell you something. Whatever you're trying to absorb, let me show you how this is. Whatever you're trying to absorb from me, of even my wife, although you thought you were getting rid of it on me. Yo, let me call my wife for you. All my wives that you're trying to absorb something from me. Just crawl on my cheeks on my face. Let me see something. Yo, listen, let me tell you something, my dude. If you were trying to absorb something, you must be a fucking dumb motherfucker. Yo, listen, another whoever you are out there, yo, my nigga, this is live on YouTube. You must be a dumb motherfucker. You're gonna end up a doombox here. Oh man, yo, for real. Now, let me show you. And then on top of it, a person says, "Who did something like that?" Yo, listen, didn't I tell you about the fucking scorpions and stuff? Didn't I tell you I took her magic away because she already did wrong because she had black skinned people claiming her magic, and I took it away. And then at a time, what was it? Even before, while I traveled up here, I was like, yo, let me just give this situation back. I hope she learned her lesson. Then I just sent her magic back to her. Now, she's over there incognito somewhere, fucked up because she done sent Walter Paul to my house to go cook a poison chemistry. And now this is the Scorpion clan that did this. They sent Walter Paul to my house to cook a herpes, a fucking herpes chemistry. Tried to cook in my house. I peeped what it was. I called the cops, all types of situations. I was like, yo, you listen, you got an individual that is doing a physics, a chem, a chemistry crime in the physical reality because I had allergic reaction on my skin to what the nigga tried to do. I said, yo, the nigga must have been fucking crazy because he was stupid for doing something like that. And the people that do something like that, those are people that, let me tell you, I'm the emperor of all love, but you ain't gonna rob me, my nigga. You know, it's like the Cupids can't even fucking rob me. The Cupids would die if they robbed me. So another person couldn't even rob me, my nigga. So it's like a person do something like that is stupid, and then on top of it, the AT&T tried to put me negative in my account, and then the lady in the bank said, "Yo, you positive certain things, but if they actually did the reverse, so they tried to make you a negative in the account because they tried to absorb." She the way she spoke, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like she wanted to. It's like she had to have something good, and I'm like, "No, bitch," because my nigga, there's no, you're never gonna be able to do that to me. Whatever you do to my wife, let me tell you something. If you got beef with the astrological empress or any star being, leave me out of it, my nigga. Let me tell you the correct physics for you to do. You go to that individual and you handle that situation. You come to me and you try to do something to me, my dude. You're gonna undo everything of your family at the time. Yo, my nigga, it's like your family is gonna lose everything and it's gonna be non-existent, my nigga. It's like wiping out your existence beyond the head of time. Matter of fact, you're gonna even have other social, economic, astrological calendars that's gonna come and literally find you a certain type of way, and they're gonna assassinate any individual. It's not assassinating. It's not assassination when a person has a reason to murder you to trying to kill them ahead of time. And on top of it, they're older than individuals, and the reason of the education that I educated them. And then the reason of the education, so it's like trying to get more than what you were supposed to get, and then you're gonna get murdered. Whoever did something like that is gonna get murdered by other individuals, and it's not really a murder because they have reasons for what they're gonna do because the way you fucked it. It's like fucking up somebody's astrological tree in a periodical table of physics. Because you can't take nothing from me. I made this earth, nigga. So trying is like stupidity. Yo, listen. You can go into your solar panel technology, my nigga. So listen, if something happens to me, you won't have elements, homeboy. Your elements would rust and rot. Your atmosphere would give out, your elements would rust and rot, the deterioration would start in your natural habitation to the natural nature and even the nutrients of the food she feeds you. And then everybody would fucking die. It would be a earth because I'm such a wonderful guy. Me coming back in time, healing a certain type of way. It was an early warning sign for my wife or my empresses that that's of points, and my empresses of this earth, my wives and of this earth that was put here because of the education of my empress. Because certain of my empresses educated my wife of my empresses of this earth. So their points of reflection of their consciousness to the physical reality, something happens to them, they could be able to remember what was going on with them so they wouldn't lose their consciousness. See, I'm a different, I made this place. I'm a different situation, but my wife is still with me. Like I said, anything somebody try to take from me is going to still be with me. Show yourself on me. Did somebody just try something? Matter of fact, the energy that you're trying to get, come to me right now. Never go to that person. You hear me? That's it. Yo, listen. Let me show you how real this situation is. My wife is the point of her reflection for her conscious. Something was just going on. Don't worry about it. My wife is the point of the consciousness, even of the reflection, even of her consciousness, to even acknowledge certain things for herself. So if a person tried to kill another empress or certain empresses, it's like trying to wipe out the conscience of the empresses of this earth. So you better be fucking careful of what other people think you're doing. And if you're thinking that you're wiping out the consciousness of the other empresses, you're my nigga. You might as well say you're dead because the other people that their empress is literally the star beings of the empress who they are literally overview this planet. So don't get assassinated for being stupid. I think we happen to be in the right orbit at the time right now. I think we happen to be in a wonderful place right now, a certain type of way. Somebody is thinking something and they don't know something about certain type of person, and they're actually around right now. Good for you. And my energy is even letting me know in the form, and I'm telling you this on YouTube. Good for you. You're gonna end up stupid. Not me. Whoever tried to do that to me. Now imagine this, man. So you had AT&T that tried to put me negative on documented papers, providing evidence, even me getting shot in Boogie Night and recovering. So me getting shot in Boogie Night and recovering at this time. So AT&T tried to put a man as a negative, and then a man is way more than a person would even say a negative. So you had AT&T at the time that tried to manipulate the physical reality and put me as a negative. So a person would say that I'm looking like a nigga. I'm sorry, homeboy. I'm actually Indian, indigenous, Asian, Caucasian. And on top of it, this is why I'm light skinned, because I'm a real Caucasian. Because I'm the one that really need white people. I'm the one that made Caucasian people. Nobody else on this earth. It was my literal DNA that made the light anatomy. Nobody else can even do it. Yo, my children will go have sex with other people, and 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 with certain black people, and then they'll come out black. You know why certain listen, everything I have is always gonna be light skinned through all the paradigm of time because it's gonna know you try to take something from me. Something negative is literally listen, it's something that a person did more if that person dishonored themselves and a person did more in their physical reality and their recondition and caused them to be a dark anatomy and caused them to be dark matter in the dark anatomy in a physical reality because that person had to dishonor themselves, so they had to do something wrong to their dignity and cause that situation when they come out dark matter and dark anatomy. And then on top of it, you had individuals that took. And that's that. I don't even want to speak about it. But ain't that funny? So AT&T knew about my. You know something? Wonderful thing, wonderful thing. So the government knew the way I came back, so provided physical evidence. I am still the same Abbott White, the same this real Osiris, right before getting shot in Bogey Night. Still the same person. And then literally, something, funny situation, and then I'm here, and everybody was like, how did I come back? Mind your fucking business. I didn't get, listen, ain't nobody gave birth to you, listen. The government knows what I'm speaking about, your international security, and if something happened, and they don't acknowledge it, just like why they went after the World Trade Center and went after, Central Intelligence documents, Federal Bureau documents of international security because they blew up the buildings that had the other documents in it. I'm not stupid to know. You think I don't realize what's going on? I was informed about everything that individuals did, my nigga. Your international security had to tell me everything that you did, you stupid shits. Just because a person said their contract is up. And you want to know something? That building belonged to I made that building for the hierarchy of the existence of this planet. This is why I reconstructed and rebuilt the World Trade Center. It was the tallest building in the world. And then on top of it, let me tell you, it don't even matter because I own the planet. It's still even in consciousness we're gonna remain at the point the tallest building in the world, and I own the continent. And let me tell you something. I rebuilt the East Coast after the War of the Fist. There was a war that we had on this planet called the War of the Fist, and I rebuilt the East Coast because it was demolished by individuals of the higher consciousness when individuals were doing when individuals were warring from martial arts blows. Be very careful of what another individual is. Yo, listen, my nigga. That was the irresponsibility of my wife that got hurt. Another person can't do it because I'm here on this planet. If I wasn't here on this planet would, this planet would, listen, let me tell you something. When I go, I don't even gotta tell you, you're fucking with a man that made the atmosphere. Listen, I'm the real rod of little side. Some of y'all real fucking stupid. Matter of fact, bye bye. Love you. Wow.